Imagine spending months planning your dream cruise, only to arrive at the port and be told you can't board. It happens more often than you might think, and for many it means losing thousands of dollars with no refund. In this video, I'm breaking down the biggest check-in mistakes that can cost you your cruise and how to make sure it doesn't happen to you. Mistake number 1. Having an unpaid or declined credit card on file. Before you can board, cruise lines require a valid credit or debit card to be linked to your onboard account. This card is used for expenses such as gratuities, drinks, excursions, and onboard shopping. If the card on file is expired, over its limit, or flagged for fraud, you may be denied boarding until the issue is resolved. Many passengers don't realize this until they reach the check-in counter, causing unnecessary stress and delays. To avoid this, make sure the card you use has sufficient funds and isn't set to expire before or during your cruise. Additionally, inform your bank about your travel plans to prevent them from flagging transactions as suspicious. If you prefer to use cash, check with your cruise line in advance to see if they allow cash deposits for onboard spending. Mistake number 2. Not completing online check-in forms. Most cruise lines now require passengers to complete an online check-in before arriving at the port. This process usually involves entering your passport information, emergency contacts, and travel details, as well as uploading a security photo. Some cruises may also require you to agree to health screenings or acknowledge onboard policies. If you skip this step, you could face significant delays at the terminal, or worse, be turned away if certain pre-approvals weren't completed. Online check-in is typically available weeks before departure, so there's no reason to leave it until the last minute. Completing it early ensures that you don't run into surprises at the port, such as missing documentation or an unverified payment method. Some cruise lines even offer expedited boarding for passengers who check in online ahead of time. Taking 5 to 10 minutes to complete your online check-in can save you hours of frustration on embarkation day. Mistake number 3. Being denied entry due to health or medical reasons. Cruise lines have strict health policies to prevent the spread of illness on board. If you show up at the port with a fever, flu-like symptoms, or any signs of a contagious illness, the cruise line has the right to deny you boarding. Even minor symptoms could be enough to flag you for additional screening, and in some cases you may need a doctor's note to clear you for travel. Pregnant travelers should also be aware of cruise line policies. Most cruise lines do not allow passengers to sail if they are beyond 24 weeks pregnant, and a doctor's note confirming fitness to travel may be required even earlier in pregnancy. Some destinations also require specific vaccinations, and failure to provide proof could result in being turned away at the port. Always review the health requirements of your cruise line and itinerary well in advance. Mistake number 4. Bringing prohibited items in your luggage. Every cruise line has a list of prohibited items, and bringing restricted items can result in delays at security or, in some cases, denial of boarding. Some of the most commonly confiscated items include irons, surge protectors, alcohol, and even over-the-counter medications in certain destinations. Many passengers are surprised to learn that even items like drones, candles, and certain power strips aren't allowed on board. If an item is flagged during security screening, you may be forced to leave it behind or return it to your car, if that's even an option. In more serious cases, bringing banned substances, weapons, or illegal items could lead to being permanently banned from the cruise line. Some passengers have been denied boarding for attempting to bring CBD products, even in places where they are legal. Cruise lines operate under strict maritime laws, and violating their policies can result in serious consequences. To avoid any issues, review your cruise line's prohibited items list before packing. Mistake number 5. Not having travel insurance. Many travelers assume that if they miss their cruise due to a flight delay or medical emergency, they'll be refunded or allowed to rebook. Unfortunately, most cruise fares are non-refundable unless you have travel insurance. Without it, you could lose thousands of dollars if you miss embarkation or need to cancel at the last minute. Travel insurance can also cover unexpected situations like lost luggage, medical emergencies, or needing to fly home from a foreign port. Some policies even include coverage for missed port stops or trip interruptions. While it may seem like an unnecessary extra cost, travel insurance can be a financial lifesaver in case of unexpected problems. Mistake number: arriving late to the port. Cruise ships operate on strict schedules, and if you miss the final check-in window, the ship will leave without you. Unlike flights, cruise lines won't delay departure for late passengers, even if you have a valid reason. Many travelers assume they have extra time or think they can board at the last minute, only to find out the doors have closed. Ports can be busy, and unexpected delays like traffic, long security lines, or weather issues can all contribute to arriving late. Cruise lines often recommend getting to the terminal at least 3 hours before departure to allow for unexpected delays. One of the worst mistakes you can make is booking your flight for the same day as your cruise departure. Flight delays, cancellations, or lost luggage could leave you scrambling to make it to the ship on time. A safer option is to fly in the day before and stay in a hotel near the port. This not only ensures you won't miss the ship, but also makes embarkation day much less stressful. If you absolutely must fly in on the same day, book an early morning flight with plenty of buffer time. Mistake number 7. Having the wrong or expired travel documents. One of the top reasons passengers get denied boarding is having the wrong travel documents or an expired passport. If you're sailing on a closed-loop cruise that starts and ends in the same U.S. port, you may only need a birth certificate and a government-issued ID. However, some itineraries require a passport, and if yours is expired or doesn't meet certain validity requirements, you won't be allowed to board. Many countries require your passport to be valid for at least 6 months beyond your return date, so checking the expiration date well in advance is crucial. Visas are another commonly overlooked issue. Some destinations require a visa even for cruise passengers, and while the cruise line might not check, immigration officials at the port will. If you don't have the correct visa, you could be denied entry at a foreign port, or worse, denied boarding altogether. Always verify visa requirements for every country on your itinerary, even if you don't plan to leave the ship. It's your responsibility to ensure you have the necessary documents before embarkation day. Have you ever had a close call at the cruise terminal? Share your experience in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, be sure to like and subscribe for more cruise tips.